Hey everyone, it's the manga viewer, and oh my god, the latest chapter of My Hero Academia was definitely one of the best My Hero Academia chapters in this year, and maybe even before that. It was filled with so much emotions that it was like just showing how pure Deku is, that it made like a soul cry, which is the message of All Might soulmate got cried. I don't know, words can't contain my happiness. It was a really beautiful chapter filled with so much beautiful emotions. But anyway, today we'll be talking about chapter 306 because I have got a ton of theories regarding the latest chapter. It showed us a lot of things, a lot of small details that some of you might not have paid attention to it. So I want to remind you this is a spoiler video. If you aren't caught up with the manga, proceed with your own caution, you have been warned. And if you like my content, feel free to join the channel. Alright, let's kick off. So we saw at the end of the latest chapter that the first user told the second and third user, how about you guys just chill and acknowledge Deku, just acknowledge him, goddammit, he's really a pure kid, why didn't you acknowledge him yet? So we can use the full power of One For All. Now that actually disowned a lot of theories that a lot of the fans said when they said that Deku will have a time to train his 6 quirks, he will unlock his quirks by training, and now he's unlocking them while he's in the Vestige world, so that's a really cool thing. What I'm thinking about is that the second user is definitely 100% or 95% Bakugo, because we saw the gauntlets, the head, the hair, everything looks similar to him. But what actually got me really surprised was the third user. If you look at the last page of the manga, you can actually see the third user, and he have some sort of tubes, like an engine or something, on his shoulders or something, and it looks really similar to Ida's engine. So it got me thinking, was the third user actually part of I don't know, Ida's family maybe? He might be actually, or he might have a laser quirk. I imagine the second and third user have probably the strongest quirk in the Vestige, because they are the latest ones to show off their quirks, except also for the fourth user, because we still don't know what his quirk is for the fifth user, sorry. So yeah, that got me thinking that the third user might be actually he might actually be part of Ida's family maybe, because we know that Ida's family is a long history family that went on for generations. So that might be one of the things that will get revealed in the next chapter. Also, we might see the backstory of the second and the third user. I imagine they are really related to the first user, personally related, since they might be in the same time. And I think they had the most harsh history out of the 8 users of One For All. And the reason for that is they were in the same timeline as All For One was in his prime, when he was defeating all of the users easily without breaking a sweat and trying to steal One For All. So that was really interesting. I think we might get then in the next chapter the backstory of the second and the third user maybe, or we might see why they hate Deku, or why they haven't acknowledged him yet. Maybe they are saying maybe because how pure Deku is, they don't like that. They might be, what I'm actually thinking about is that they might be kind of not evil, but in a harsh way sort of thing. They might have killed all the enemies that have got in their way, and they only acknowledge One For All as a way to kill All For One. They might be not the rest of the users when they are kind and stuff. They might be a bit harsh, or a bit hard on Deku, and they might actually tell him you can't just hold up the whole time, So I think that's one of the things that might happen in the next chapter. Another cool thing to think about is that the chapter might actually shift back to Shigaraki's conscious, as he's talking with All For One, and it's going to be kind of a parallel between Deku saying about him wanting to save Shigaraki, and Shigaraki talking about killing Deku. As I said in my last video, I think how this war arc will end, or how Shigaraki will end, is that he will probably face off against All For One, or he will face against Deku, and then the battle will end by Shigaraki dying maybe, or Deku saving him. We don't know exactly, but it's a really cool thing to think about. Another cool thing that I'm thinking about as well is that Deku might actually get rewinded back in time to actually save Shigaraki being evil. He might like not be able to stop him, so he'll have to go back in time and fix like the timeline or something. But that might not be interesting for most of the audience, since they are saying like we don't want it to be like in game when we go back in time and then save the timeline and then go back. It will not be as entertaining and as satisfying as it is. What I'm also thinking is that the chapter will actually like be all about the Visage world. So the second and third user might not talk, or like they might say we don't want to talk, but the rest of the users will start talking about them. Like they might explain a couple of things. Mostly, I think the chapter will be in One for All, and I think it's going to be the latest chapter of Deku being in One for All, and then he will wake up, continue on with the current timeline and the hospital, as he will wake up and All Might will be there. So I really think that's what's going to happen in the next chapter. Anyway, that's just a theory. Feel free to talk about yours as well. I have been the Manga Viewer, and I will see you all next time.